Well, my chunky tyre for the Scrambler project has just arrived. The only thing I can notice is it's a King's tyre, which was the brand of the inner tube that came out of the original wheel. But it's supposed to be a V-rubber tyre, so I don't know if it's just they've sent something as a replacement or if King's tyre is actually V-rubber. So, let's have a look. Well, I ordered a tyre. It was actually a V-rubber VRM022, I think the number was. And this is a tyre that was delivered, a King's tyre, which is described as Australian Postal Service heavy duty. So this is the wheel that I built up with Simwolf hub and disc, monkey bike iridescent spokes, and an alloy 17 by 2.5 rim of unknown origin. But basically I got it with the project bike, well the donor bike I should say for the project, but I think it looks the part. I'm putting Simwolf forks front end onto the frame, so this should do the job. So I've now got to decide whether or not I'm going to reuse this CB100 wheel. Obviously the spokes are pretty well knackered, so I'll need to replace the spokes. So the question is, do I take all the rust off this, spray it black and put this on, or where's the oh, it's in the corner, or do I attempt to fit that rim? Now this was a, see, that's a 2.5 rim and this is a 17-inch. Where's the number? It's a 17 by 3.5. Now I don't really know if there's going to be enough clearance. I'll grab the CB100N swing arm. So I do have space, and it might be possible I could stretch a 275 or a 3 by 17 onto that, but obviously there's things like brake bars, etc. So what does everybody think? Do you think it's possible to fit a 3.5 by 17 rim inside a CB100N swing arm? Answers on a postcard. Or should I just stick with 1.6? If I had another 2.5, I would go for a 2.5 rear rim, but unfortunately I don't have one. So if anybody knows if anybody's got one, I'll be all ears. Well, it's a nice sunny day here today, and I'm gonna take the CB100N hub out of these rusted old spokes. I've been trying to undo the spoke nipples on this rear wheel and because of the design of the spokes, as you can see, they kind of go straight in. There's a tendency for them to turn, so I think I'm just going to use my grinder and I'm just going to cut the spokes. Obviously with these ones, these are very well rusted, so I think it'd be a bit of an exercise in futility even attempting to undo these, so I'll just take this round quickly with the grinder, and then so I think just for speed I'll just take the grinder and cut all the spokes on these as well. That's the hub cut out, I think. Oh, I've left one spoke. But yeah, these should all be easily enough removed. So one more to go, and then that'll be me. Well, there's one hub that's made a break for freedom. Needs a good clean up. And that's what remains of the original spokes. They've certainly rusted and diminished in diameter. You can see how thin it is there versus what it started off as. So I need to get a wire brush or something onto this hub. There's quite a few odds and ends that need a good clean up. The bearings though, I'll say, the bearings feel very smooth compared to the Sim Wolf, which is obviously a hell of a lot younger. This one is just, it feels just like it left the factory actually, which is not bad for sitting in a garden for 30 years or so and being 40 years old. So I'll need to look at the best way to get all this corrosion off. Quite tempted to maybe put it into something, see if that takes most of it off. I've got some citric acid, but I don't know if citric acid works with aluminium. Obviously it works well with steel or iron based stuff, it takes all the corrosion off. But I might do a little test. I'll maybe just put corner or the bottom part of this into some citric acid and see what it does. And then I think I'll probably just have to cut these out as well. It's going to save a hell of a lot of time trying to get the thing out. I've been having a bit of a play about with a compressor, air compressor that my pal got me to fix for him. I had to actually replace the manifold and everything, so I've done that. And then he also had an air tool that wasn't working, so in between cutting out hubs and removing spokes from this rim, I've disassembled this Powercraft air gun, and now it works. So that's my good deed for the day. Shouldn't have done that, I suppose. And I've just tried giving this a bit of a go with the wire brush attachment. I don't need to make a perfect job of it, I just need to clean it up to paint it black. So the outer parts are easy enough done, and I've been in there to some extent as well. The inner parts, doing it by hand, not having it in a vise or something, is a bit fiddly. So if anyone's got any tips on how to clean out all these splines, I'm all ears. So that's how far I've got. But the rim, this is the side that doesn't tell you. The rim is a unison rim, and there's the markings. So 17 by 3.5, which does seem to fit, but obviously it's going to be tight. I think I'm going, when I get the brake bar, I'm going to have to move it out, otherwise this will be almost touching it, I think. But it looks okay. And then once I get this hub cleaned properly and then painted, I'll get it laced up with the twisted spokes. So I've still got a bit to go. I'll just make sure I get all that crap off, get the holes cleaned out properly so the spokes go through cleanly. I mean, I've got a regular wire brush which I could potentially put in to just do that. Again, it doesn't have to be, I'm not trying to make like a concourse restoration job. I'm just trying to make a Scrambler project that looks its age. Well, as it's a lovely 15-degree day, I decided to pressure wash the inner part of this hub, and it's actually made not too bad job of it. Just needs a little bit of a rub down, and then I think it'll be good enough to paint. I'll clean this up with some alcohol or white spirit or something, but still some bits in there that could probably do with going over with a wire brush, but it's clean enough, I think. Again, I'm not looking for a concourse restoration. I took the jet wash over the frame as well, but can't say it made much difference to that. No doubt it'll be even rustier by tonight. But I'll let this dry off in the sun, and I'll need to pick up some primer and some paint. The hub going over with a wire brush. I think it looks relatively clean in there, and I've given it a preliminary blast over with some primer, some of Poundland's finest Pro Driver auto spray paint grey primer, a whole pound. So I need to get myself some gloss black. I've got some heat resistant or VHT black paint, but I don't really think that's the right thing to use for this, so unless the brakes are going to get hot, but I don't think so. So anyway, that's the progress for today.